Shalom, giving all praise and all glory unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone at Rollwell. Shalom to you, Akim, pushing the word in faith and truth and in sincerity. As always, I start by saying we are the real Hebrew Israelites, the true Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and West Indians and West Africans predominantly. However, you will get Israelites who look like the other nations because Israel has been scattered amongst all people throughout our various captivities. But if your seed line, which is your lineage, goes back through your fathers to the man named Israel in the Bible, then you too are an Israelite, no matter what you look like. So I'm just back with another quick listen. News articles are popping up all the time now during these times, which is beautiful because it's times of biblical prophecy coming to fulfillment. And this article that I just read says, Michael Gove tells joggers to limit exercise stints to 30 minutes amid coronavirus lockdown. Now this shows what a devil Esau is, because initially they said, you can exercise once a day. Then they said once a day for 1 hour. Now they've changed it to 30 minutes. So this devil keeps on making these unrighteous decrees, man. Let me get that. This is Isaiah 10:1. It says, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and they which write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that the widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. So let me get Job 9:24. This states that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So this man is the damned devil. Is speaking of Esau, Edom. Let's get into this article now, bring out a few more precepts. Michael Gove tells joggers to limit exercise stints to just 30 minutes amid coronavirus lockdown. This was today, 6 hours ago. Michael Gove has urged joggers to limit their runs to around 30 minutes in an effort to halt the spread of coronavirus. The Cabinet Office of Ministers sought to clarify the government's advice after police forces complained there had been some confusion about where people were allowed to go for exercise. Officers in the Peak and Lake districts have already warned drivers against travelling long distances after they saw a surge in visitors in the wake of the government's announcement that people can leave their homes each day to get exercise. On Friday, the Environment Department was forced to issue further details saying that the public should only use open spaces near their homes when exercising, and warned against travelling unnecessarily. Pressed for clarity on the rules, Mr. Gove told the BBC's Andrew Marr programme, well, obviously it depends on each individual's fitness. I would have thought that for most people, a walk of up to an hour or a run of 30 minutes or a cycle ride between that, depending on the level of fitness, is appropriate. Mr. Gove said most people were already displaying common sense when it came to following social distancing guidelines, but he warned that tighter curbs could be brought into force if people failed to follow the government's orders. He added, yesterday I went out for a jog early on. People were maintaining their distance. I was only out for 25 minutes, but people were exercising that degree of discipline. Then later in the day, I went on a short walk to the local grocery store to get some essentials. Again, in that grocery store, people were maintaining strict social distancing, and that short walk was just to get the ingredients for weekend cooking. So people have been displaying a degree of discipline that is admirable. Under the government's plans, people have been told to maintain a minimum of 2 meters distance from each other, with police forces given new powers. Now that's the point. All of this is just to give the government and the police and the military more power, by them being able to put into place new laws. So it says, under government plans, people have been told to maintain a minimum of 2 meters distance from each other, with police forces given new powers to disperse gatherings and issue fines to those flouting the rules. And that's the end of the article. So let's get into the scriptures. As I said, Job chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And what was the scripture I brought out before? Isaiah chapter 10. And 1. Slakia, chapter 10. It says, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and they which write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. Now this is the whole thing, man. What you've got to ask yourself is, what's the difference between quarantine and house arrest? Because what Esau has basically done is put everybody in all these countries in lockdown under house arrest, essentially. And people are going to lose it eventually, and then they're going to rise up, and they're going to rebel. And that's when Esau's going to bring the hammer down. So this is all basically a setup, man. Just like in a boxing match where, you know, one boxer's trying to set his opponent up for the heavy right or whatever, or the uppercut. And then eventually the opponent falls for it, and then bam, that's the hit that, you know, KOs the opponent. That's what Esau's trying to do with all these new laws and measures to limit people's movements and shit. It's all a big setup, man. All a big setup. Now, at the end of the day, the coronavirus is... I'm beginning to believe that there is a coronavirus because, you know, brothers have been sending me certain messages from testimonies of nurses and stuff. But the whole point is, it's all by design. Esau's playing a game here, you know, and he's got you people set up for the fall. But ultimately, Esau's the one that's going to fall, because Yahushua is coming to bring this kingdom down. Let me get a precept here. Malachi 1 and 4. Wrong again. 1 and 4. This is let me read it from Malachi 1 and 1. The burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith Yahweh. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith Yahweh? Yet I loved Jacob. And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh have indignation forever. And your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, Yahweh will be magnified from the border of Israel. So yeah, Esau's impoverished. Esau's kingdom's basically at death's door. And they're still trying to build up. They're still trying to build up their new world order. But Yahweh's not going to have it. Let me read it one more time. Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh have indignation forever. So with that, giving all praise and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem HaKadosh, double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone that rule well, and shalom to you, Arkim, that be pushing this word in faith and in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.